Have you ever heard of a superhero who can climb walls and swing between buildings? He wears a red and blue suit and can shoot webs from his wrists. Yes, it's Spider-Man. But Spider-Man wasn't always a superhero. Once, he was just an ordinary teenager named Peter Parker. Peter was a smart and kind boy who lived with his Aunt May and Uncle Ben. He loved science and dreamed of becoming a scientist one day. Peter was a little shy and sometimes felt like he didn't fit in. He was bullied at school and had a hard time making friends. But everything changed one day when Peter visited a science fair. Little did he know that this trip would change his life forever and transform him into the amazing Spider-Man. At the science fair, Peter was fascinated by an exhibit of radioactive spiders. He watched in amazement as the spiders spun their intricate webs. As he leaned in for a closer look, one of the spiders escaped from its enclosure. It landed on Peter's hand and bit him before scurrying away. At first, Peter didn't think much of the bite. It just felt like a little pinch. He continued exploring the rest of the fair, unaware of the incredible change happening within him. But soon, Peter started to feel different. He felt a strange tingling sensation all over his body. His senses seemed heightened, and he felt a surge of energy coursing through his veins. He didn't understand what was happening, but he knew the spider bite had something to do with it. Peter had gained incredible abilities, but with these powers came a great responsibility. He would soon learn that being Spider-Man meant using his powers for good and protecting the innocent. One of Spider-Man's most iconic abilities is his web slinging. He doesn't shoot webs from his body like a real spider. Instead, Peter used his scientific knowledge to create special devices called web shooters that he wears on his wrists. These web shooters are filled with a special fluid that instantly transforms into strong, sticky webs upon contact with air. With a flick of his wrists, Spider-Man can shoot these webs to swing between buildings, trap villains, and even create safety nets to save people from falling. His web-slinging abilities allow him to move through the city with incredible speed and agility, making him a formidable force against crime. The web shooters are a testament to Peter's intelligence and his ability to use science to enhance his powers. Have you ever felt like something was wrong before anything even happened? That's kind of what Spider-Man's spider sense is like. It's like a warning system inside his head that alerts him to danger. When danger is near, Peter gets a tingling feeling at the back of his neck. This feeling warns him that something bad is about to happen, giving him a chance to react quickly and avoid the threat. Spider sense is super helpful when Spider-Man is fighting villains. It helps him dodge attacks, even sneak attacks from behind or places he can't see. It's like having a sixth sense that keeps him one step ahead of his enemies. Spider-Man's spider sense is a key part of what makes him such an amazing superhero, allowing him to react to danger with lightning-fast reflexes and protect himself and others from harm. Chapter 5. Walls Have Eyes. Wall Crawling. Imagine being able to climb walls just like a spider. That's one of Spider-Man's coolest powers. He can cling to almost any surface, no matter how smooth or slippery it seems. This allows him to scale skyscrapers, walk upside down on ceilings, and even cling to the sides of moving vehicles. So how does he do it? It's all thanks to the tiny hairs on his hands and feet. These hairs are so small you can barely see them, but they create a special force that allows Spider-Man to stick to surfaces. It's like having millions of tiny suction cups on his hands and feet. This incredible ability gives Spider-Man a unique advantage in battle, allowing him to move in ways his enemies can't predict and surprise them from unexpected angles. Chapter 6. A Gallery of Rogues, the Sinister Foes of Spider-Man. Every superhero needs a good villain to fight, and Spider-Man has some of the most iconic and fearsome enemies in comic book history. These villains aren't just bad guys. They're complex characters with their own motivations and backstories. They challenge Spider-Man both physically and mentally, pushing him to his limits and forcing him to make tough choices. From the maniacal laughter of the Green Goblin to the chilling intellect of Dr. Octopus and the terrifying symbiote Venom, Spider-Man's enemies pose a constant threat to the safety of New York City. Let's delve into the depths of Spider-Man's rogues gallery and explore what makes these villains so memorable and menacing. Chapter 7. The Green Goblin, a Laughing Menace. The Green Goblin is one of Spider-Man's oldest and most dangerous foes. He flies around on a glider, throws pumpkin bombs, and causes chaos wherever he goes. But beneath the mask, the Green Goblin is actually Norman Osborn, the father of Peter Parker's best friend, Harry Osborn. Norman became the Green Goblin after a science experiment went wrong, twisting his mind and turning him into a villain. He's obsessed with defeating Spider-Man and will stop at nothing to destroy him. The Green Goblin's personal connection to Peter Parker makes him an especially challenging enemy because he can exploit Peter's emotions and relationships to gain an advantage. Chapter 8. Dr. Octopus, a Mind Over Matter. Dr. Octopus is a brilliant scientist driven mad after a lab accident fused 4 powerful mechanical arms to his body. He uses his intelligence and his metal arms to commit crimes and try to take over the world. Dr. Octopus is a master planner and strategist, always thinking several steps ahead of his enemies. His mechanical arms are incredibly strong and can be controlled with his mind, making him a formidable opponent in battle. Dr. Octopus represents the potential dangers of unchecked ambition and the dark side of scientific progress. He is a constant reminder to Spider-Man that even the brightest minds can be corrupted by power. Chapter 9. Venom, the symbiote's embrace. Venom is unlike any other Spider-Man villain. He is an alien symbiote, a living black goo that needs a host to survive. When the Venom symbiote bonds with a human, it gives them incredible powers, but also influences their thoughts and actions, making them more aggressive and dangerous. Venom has all of Spider-Man's powers and more, but he's also driven by a primal rage that makes him unpredictable and deadly. The Venom symbiote is drawn to strong negative emotions and amplifies those emotions in its host. This makes Venom an especially dangerous enemy because he can use Spider-Man's own anger and frustration against him. Chapter 10. Why We Love Spider-Man. Spider-Man isn't just any superhero. He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's relatable because he's not perfect. He makes mistakes, struggles with his problems, and always tries to do the right thing even when it's hard. He shows us that anyone can be a hero, no matter their age or background. We root for Spider-Man because he never gives up. No matter how many times he falls, he always gets back up. He teaches us that it's okay to ask for help when we need it and that true strength comes from helping others. Spider-Man's enduring popularity stems from his relatability, his unwavering sense of responsibility, and his steadfast belief in the power of good. Chapter 11. Everyone Can Be a Hero. Spider-Man teaches us that being a hero isn't about having superpowers. It's about having a good heart and using our abilities to help others. We can all be heroes in our own way by being kind to others, standing up for what's right, and making a difference in our communities. Remember, even the smallest acts of kindness can have a big impact. So go out there and be the hero you were meant to be. Embrace the values that Spider-Man embodies: responsibility, courage, and compassion. Use your own unique talents and skills to make the world a better place, one small act of kindness at a time.